Do you think people are stuck because of income or how they think about it?
I think it's really a mindset problem. They think that money solves all of your problems, and at the same time, they think that hindi ko kaya yan. That's exactly what's holding you back. Kasi who told you na hindi mo kaya? And so I got in trouble.
To me, it's security versus freedom. No? If you're someone who aspires more, who wants to have time freedom like yourself, who can come out at 10 a.m. to do a podcast like this, then you want to do something about it. There must be a mindset shift.
So you have to think about what else can I build that can bring value to other people. You don't find excuses. You don't think that, well, ito lang yung kaya natin, ito yung limit natin. But you think, okay, this is the goal, this is where we are, how can we get there? But one thing I think we did not realize is that
yung masahod ka ng 50,000 sa Pinas, pumunta ka dito sa Singapore, now you're earning 250,000. What is the first thing that you're gonna do with your money the moment you receive your first paycheck?
I would probably...
Alright, here we are again, bro. Kumusta? Balita?
Good.
So today we'll be talking about, mainly about mindset and what makes people stuck in terms of finances, managing their income. And one thing that I realized, they don't have a knowledge problem. Filipinos tend to have the drive and everything, but I think that Filipinos have a structural problem. And besides that, more importantly, is their mindset when it comes to making money, shifting from being an employee, 9 to 5, to being a builder, or an owner or an investor, no. So, may tanong ako sa'yo, bro. Do you think people are stuck because of income or how they think about it?
Generally speaking, I think it's really a mindset problem.
Okay.
It's a thing. I'm not, when you say mindset, normally we think kasi na parang think positive, like dapat positive thoughts. It's not just that. It's your perspective towards life and how you actually make money.
Okay.
For the longest time. And this is because ganito din yung training sa atin ever since. I think especially for Filipinos, yung education system natin teaches us na, sige, mag-aral ka na mabuti. Kasi if you get good grades, you'll get a good job. Diba? And if you get employed, ma-promote ka, tas tatas yung sahod mo.
Ano sa tingin mo yung difference between being someone who aspires more income versus someone who aspires to create more?
Yeah, I guess I reference back to yung story namin ng misis ko. Kasi from the very beginning, we started as entrepreneurs very early on. We were employed for a short season, or that was hell on earth for us. Alam mo yun, pero I mean it was meaningful. It got started, but from the very beginning kasi yung mentality that we had, I think, was kung may gusto tayo, saan tayo hugot, 'di ba? And normally when you think like that, usually yung pinaka default lang talaga ng employee. Again, nothing wrong with employees, pero yung pinaka default that they can fall to is sige, 15-30 ganito yung set aside natin. And so I guess one example was when we took our first international trip as a family. Obviously, it was not possible with the salary that we had because we were still employed.
Yeah.
So yung thinking namin was, saan tayo pwedeng mag-side hustle, ano yung pwede nating ibenta para maka-extra tayo, and we can go as early as 6 to 8 months from now versus having to save for 2 years to get to our first international trip. So I think if you have that kind of mentality, at the core of it, it's you find BDO, diba? You find ways. You don't find excuses, you find strategies. You don't think that, well, ito lang yung kaya natin, ito yung limit natin. But you think, okay, this is the goal, this is where we are, how can we get there? What are the challenges that we'll face, and how can we overcome those challenges? I think that's very important.
I think to me, it's security versus freedom, no?
Yeah,
So it's nice to have the thought, the feeling that, hey, every month may papasok na sahod, But you see, life is designed as such na, we are earning, say, $5,000 per month, $5,000 per month to pay for our bills, to pay for our necessities, and for our hobbies, no? But the moment we break out from that security feeling,
Mm.
you know, we actually get to discover more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discover more opportunities. And with opportunities, of course, a higher ceiling of income,
Oh,
you know. So to me, it's really about your mindset. Na
Yeah.
ano ba, ikaw ba yung tipo na masaya ka na doon? Nothing wrong, masaya ka na doon. But if you're someone who aspires more, who wants to have time freedom like yourself, you know, who can come out at what 10 a.m. to do a podcast like this, then you know you want to do something about it. There
Yeah.
must be a mindset shift, you know.
Yeah.
But this kind of mindset, being the wanting security, the 9 to 6 mindset, do you think it's culturally inculcated to people like Filipinos?
Yeah, because we're trained to build other people's dreams for
Mm.
them. That's the way I really, if you define what being an employee is, that's what you do. You build someone else's empire.
Okay. Yes.
is,
Yes,
diba?
I agree.
Oo. But we're not trained to be builders ourselves.
Mm-mm.
I'm very big on the word builders, especially recently. Parang I've been coming up with like this entire framework, this module for another training company then. And then the training is called having the builder's mentality.
Mm-mm.
Yung builder's mentality is you like to create stuff,
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah.
Like my background kasi is I like to create content because I'm a creative.
Mm-mm.
So I create content for myself, I create content for other people, yung mga business owners din, mga clients namin. And from there, I'm always like tinkering. Ano yung magandang format ngayon? Is it long form videos? Is it short form? Is it blogs? And so that kind of mentality has like taught me, and also my wife says na parang we can't just stay in the lane and say na ito lang i-build natin kasi ito yung inutos sa atin. We were told by our boss to build this, and so I have to build this. No, you have to like think about what else can I build that can bring value to other people.
And I think with that, bro, you get to have a glimpse of how different business people think.
Exactly.
And then it builds you this library of, okay, this guy from finance, this is how he thinks, this is how he makes money. This guy from real estate, this is how he makes money. This guy who has a restaurant or or another business, this is how he thinks, this is how he builds.
Right.
Goes back to the builder mindset.
Yes.
You know, and for yourself, being someone who does marketing for different companies, then I guess na-expose ka sa iba't ibang paraan kung paano talaga kumita ang mga tao. And you yourself can build it for others, it's very important that these Filipinos or people.
But the thing about exposure din kasi, bro. I hate to say it, no. Exposure is not the solution to the problem.
Okay.
Because marami namang mga tao na exposed sa maganda eh. 'Di ba?
And the fact that you're working for someone,
exactly,
you
you're exposed to your boss. But the thing is, do you have the curiosity? Bakit ganito? Bakit ganyan? I think, again, going back to education system, yung tinuro sa atin, kasi don't ask questions, ito lang yung ituturo ng teacher mo.
Taas kamay bago ka magtanong.
Oo. So like, you can't question. Like for me, for example, when I only did 2 years of college, hindi ko natapos. So on my second year of college, I was attending this economics class. Marketing din yung, yung kinuha ko na course eh. And so when I was taking marketing, I had, syempre part ng curriculum is economics. So I had this question for one of my professors. Was quite young. Like, I think yung professor ko niya was like, maybe like not even 10 years younger than me. So, alam mo, medyo malapit yung gap. But that also created this feeling na she had to prove na I'm still your teacher even though we're the same age. So one time, during the class, I asked a question. Very, very, not to try to challenge her or what, pero gusto ko lang talaga malaman na bakit ganito? Like, I think it was supply and demand, something like that. So what happens if ganito yung movement? Hindi niya masagot. And so I got in trouble. So she was like, you shouldn't challenge my authority because I'm your teacher. I was like, I'm not challenging your authority. I'm just curious. I want the answer. And it's your fault that you don't have the answer. That was the day I realized I don't want to finish college. But like that's a story for a different day. Pero what I learned from that is the way that minsan kasi if things are too structured, tas parang your curiosity is tamed down. You can't have that builder's mindset. Kasi a builder will always if you look at like the full framework, right? Still in the works. But the first thing that I really talk about is curiosity. Why is it this way? Why not this way? Bakit hindi pwede? Like on the way here, I ran from the hotel 2 to 3 kilometers. And and when I was running, I was like thinking, like, people will probably say, ba't ka tumakbo? Pwede ka namang mag-bus or ano. Why not? Diba? Why not? Why not run? Because you can. You're in Singapore. You're already here. But it will probably take like another 5 minutes. So that kind of thinking, I think it really makes a difference.
You know, ito na to, this topic of not having that desire to be a builder, you know. So it's sometimes kasi, we okay, in theory you gotta be you gotta choose between security and being a builder,
Yeah.
But you see, I feel that what would make people curious is if they have the desire
True.
to learn more,
Yeah.
because with that desire, you have an outcome that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So it is the same with investing. No, both of us are investors. Before we want to invest, we don't just ask for the numbers, how much returns we're gonna make, right? It's the desire to achieve
Yes.
the outcome that investing does. Or same with building a business, no. May tanong ako sa bro. No,
Yeah.
napakagandang tanong to. Kasi people tend to be job dependent, to survive. And syempre, they have a job so that they feel secure. So that's parang fragile na, it's a fragile topic na kailangan meron akong income. And ito yung reality ng mga OFW din kasi. That's why they come here to Singapore or other countries, no? Why do you think salary feels safe?
Well, because it's predictable, eh.
Mm-hmm.
Predictability. I mean, as human beings, we don't like uncertainty. I mean, we saw that the most in the pandemic. That's where the concept of VUCA. Are you familiar with VUCA?
No, what is a VUCA?
So it's VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity.
Okay.
Those are the 4 things that really messed with people's mental health during the pandemic. Kasi di natin alam kung kailan mag-end. Will I still have a job? Will the company I'm working for, will they lay me off? So I think that's good. I mean, I guess if you look back at the, how we were hunter gatherers, then we moved into agriculture. Bakit tayo nag-move from nomadic hunter gatherer to now being in the village? Because we want the security. Alam natin na paggising natin, walang saber-tooth tiger na, alam mo yun?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It makes sense.
Yung meat ng mammoth, it became money.
Yeah.
It became paper.
Correct. But one thing I think we did not realize is that sometimes certainty can also be more dangerous.
Limiting.
That's the term, limiting, because all of a sudden you get too comfortable. Alam naman natin pag nasa comfort zone ka, what do you settle? And that's where the curiosity dies down.
Yeah. You know what? For someone who feels secure with their salary, imagine they lose their job today. What do you think actually happens next?
Zero.
Zero.
Versus kung negosyante ka, if you have like 10 sources of income, mawala yung isa,
or kahit wala kang madaming source of income, as long as you have that mindset
to
build,
that's another one.
A lot of things we see on social media, like there are questions. What if I lose my net worth, my business today?
Yeah.
Next month or 3 months down the road, I'm probably selling like metal roofs or as simple as sneakers. Because you have that entrepreneurial mindset, business mindset, and hindi enough sa yung security.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example, Bruno. The services that our business offers, yung Blockton strategy, is very different from what we used to offer. Kasi dati, app design. That was where I started. Nag-design ako ng apps. Hindi ako nagko-code, pero I would decide the layout. That's how I started in the, kasi yun yung parang first na tinanong sa akin. Nung yung apps, all of a sudden, nag-iba na yung workflow, hindi na nila kailangan ng design. Nag-logos ako. Gumawa ako ng logo. Sige, kailangan mo ng logo para sa negosyo mo. Ako gagawa. Then business cards. Nung lumaki na yung social media graphics. Tapos all of a sudden, pag-aralan na kaya natin yung pagsulat din ng captions. So, my point in saying that is, your our service has evolved. Kasi hindi siya pwede na parang fixed ka lang na ito lang yung alam ko eh.
Yeah,
And I think that's another thing that
It's-
the school teaches us eh.
Yeah, the school teaches us to just parang meron ng pathway that we just have to tread. No?
Correct,
It's
correct.
easier, but the results will be the same lang with other people. I
Yeah.
can relate to you, bro. Kasi I'm in the financial services industry back then. During COVID, there was circuit breaker here in Singapore, so nobody
Okay.
could meet. And
Oo.
I wasn't used to like doing Zoom calls yet. So, syempre, yung income is not there, no? I don't get a lot of new clients and everything. So, what I did basically is me and my friends, we started yung boxing gym. We rented a studio somewhere here. Yeah, doon sa sale.
Yeah.
And then we saw the demand na people are looking to be fitter. And dito, ang dami nagja-jogging. There are more people jogging around here. And we saw,
Yeah.
wait, there's a demand. People are bored.
Yeah.
They're not always jogging, but they're bored.
Yeah.
So now let's bring boxing to them.
Right.
So nag-send kami ng mga flyers sa mga condo dito. And then that's when they started knocking on our doors in our studio. Tinuturuan namin sila mag-boxing. And we were earning pretty well. We were charging like $100 to $120 per hour
Wow.
of boxing pad work.
Wow.
And everybody was bored. In one day, we have probably like about siguro 4 to 8 different clients coming over to
Yeah.
our So, let's talk about the OFWs, no. OFWs come to go abroad with because the income there is a lot higher, no. So kung sa Pilipinas ang sahod mo is 50,000, pag tungtong mo sa Singapore siguro roughly ang sahod mo 250k, no. So to them that's wow, mas malaki na yung income ko. It means I can spend more, Now, ano sa tingin mo yung maling ginagawa nila the moment they get a higher salary abroad?
I mean, there's a, we could go on forever now, but I'll just focus on one. We think kasi pag employee ka, hindi ka entrepreneur. Entrepreneur ka, hindi ka employee. We think it's a false dichotomy. Meaning,
Yeah,
kala
I agree.
natin parang either or ka lang, hindi pwede. But why can't you be both?
Yeah.
Like, I think what really opened my eyes to that was si Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, I don't believe in all of his philosophies, but he thought about the 4 quadrants, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung sa employment, self-employment, business, income. So parang what I realized is, okay, you can actually have a salary and also have a business. And I think, I mean, like, being exposed to, OFWs dito sa Singapore, parang I noticed actually na dito sa Singapore, mas, at least the people I talk to, mas entrepreneur. Like people like you, sina Kuya Carl, diba, na you're thinking, yes, I'm employed, but like I can also build something on the side, which kind of like goes a bit deeper into, kasi we're talking about build. Yung builder kasi, you build your own business.
Yeah.
The other part of it then, eventually, hindi lang pwede builder, you also have to be an owner.
Yes.
And yung owner naman is na you use your income, your assets, your knowledge to build something that eventually kikita kahit hindi ikaw na yung gumagawa.
Yeah. So passive income talaga
Exactly.
yung result, no.
Yeah.
So with that, no, what do you think? Okay, imagine you're an OFW. Okay, yung masahod ka ng 50,000 sa Pinas. Pumunta ka dito sa Singapore. Now you're earning 250,000. What is the first thing that you're gonna do with your money the moment you receive your first paycheck?
I would probably, and this might sound cliche, no, is I would really invest in knowledge, buy courses. Sabi mo, wala akong time eh. Come on, I mean, you're working 40 hours a week. I mean, like, you still have 126 hours. And if you sleep, even if you sleep 8 hours, you still have like a good 50, 60 hours. You spend 2 to 3 hours every week just like learning a skill, just like tinkering, diba? Like look at like what's available. I'm not even saying that you buy the expensive master classes. Ayaw mo gumastos, just
YouTube.
watch YouTube, exactly.
YouTube.
Diba? Or attend networking events na you expose yourself to business owners. Like, how does this person I think that's the most important part, more than just like paying for courses, all of that. What you want to pay for actually is access to people who have mindsets and like in some way or another lifestyles na gusto mo, diba? Kasi then you start to get like, I think it's the word I use there is impartation. Iba yung instruction, iba yung impartation. Instruction is ito yung knowledge. Impartation is something that you just pick up on the go. Na parang, nga pala, no? Bakit ganito siya maglakad? Bakit ganito siya manami? I mean, like, those small cues can tell you na this is not just like the things I have to know,
Mm.
but this is the kind of DNA and culture I need to
Mm.
embrace na bakit parang importante sa kanila na masarap yung kape. Something as
Yeah,
simple as that,
yeah.
you know.
Like, what I realize is, ang daming problema sa mundo, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, madaming problema sa mundo. And pag may problema, most people would look for a solution.
Yeah.
Now, as a business owner, you want to be the person who provides the solution. And as much as possible, you want to be the only one who can provide the solution.
Or the best one.
Or the best one.
Yeah.
You know, or the best one.
Yeah.
You know, this is a problem. What we're talking about right now is a problem.
Yeah.
Filipinos go abroad, become OFW. Okay, mas mataas yung sahod.
Yeah.
Then what's next? No. Usually, yung pera nag-i-inflate na lang yung with the money that they're receiving, nag-i-inflate yung expenses sa Pinas, sa dito sa abroad. Even worse, bro, nagkakaroon ng bagong pamilya.
Tapos dagdag gastos pa.
Yes, that's a problem, bro. That's a problem. And me, as someone who's working in finance, that's the problem that I'm trying to solve. You know, as simple as investing in the markets.
Yeah, actually, that's the next thing, actually, bro. Kasi the next thing that you should do, if you wanna own and you don't know how to build, that's fine.
Yeah,
because
outsource ka sa mga blue chip stocks, yung mga companies na ganun.
You invest in other builders who are tested and proven, and that's the reason why you invest in stock market. Kasi these companies obviously know what they're doing.
Yeah. And alam mo kumikita, and yung yung revenue nila, it's so obvious.
Wag lang PSE.
I mean, not to discredit PSE, no, because I think the market in the Philippines is very affected ng political changes. We don't want to go deep into that. Kailangan natin si Dexter sa podcast. We want to talk about that. Yeah, but in essence, we're talking about the global markets. No? It's something that's tried and tested. But speaking of which, being someone who provides a solution to problems, then I think ayun yung parang sagot to make more money. You help people. It's still charity kind of, you help people. You help me with my marketing.
Right.
Oh, then you make money from it. I help you with your investments. I make money from it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, it's an ecosystem of value add.
That's very important, bro. Kasi I think that's a very important point also to make for Filipinos who want to become builders and owners, no. Hindi pwede na ako lang yung nag-benefit from the relationship. Like mentorship, for example, no. Okay, you have a good mentor. You have a good person who can train you. You have to ask yourself, how can I add value to this person? Kasi yung mga tao that really make it as builders and owners are people who think win-win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, kasi kung hindi siya win-win, hindi siya sustainable.
Yeah, win-win.
You become a charity case, and the more that you are a charity case, mas lalong tumataas yung victim mentality mo.
Yeah.
Mas lalo kang parang, nakakaawa naman ako, sana tulungan mo ako.
Man.
That kind of mindset, bro, is exactly what's holding you back from building.
Man.
Because it's discouraging you from creating your own thing and telling you you can just be a leech on someone else's my wife was just showing me this post the other day na I mean, I don't like to shit on my friends, no. But I mean, truth of the matter is sometimes we try to teach them then to change their mindset a bit.
Yeah.
I had a friend basically who posted something along the lines of parang mabuti pa yung mga mayaman kasi yung iniisip lang nila saan sila magta-travel, tayo nag-iisip tayo ng saan tayo kukuha.
They forgot kung ano yung stress na pinagdaanan ng mayaman na yun.
Yeah, they think that money solves all of your problems, and at the same time they think that hindi ko kaya yan. That's exactly what's holding you back. Kasi who told you na hindi mo kaya?
Yeah.
Diba? I go back always to what the Bible says na again, very cliche, pero nothing's impossible for God. I mean, like, my belief is, because I'm a man of faith, is that if my faith tells me that anything's possible, he made the oceans part, bakit mo nilalagyan ng limit yung buhay mo?
Yeah.
Diba? Ginawa ka ng Panginoon nga para you can see the wonders in His life, and then all of a sudden sabihin mo, hindi ko kaya to kasi ganito lang ako eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Limiting belief.
Yeah, it's a limiting belief then, no? Like, here's one thing crazy, man. Filipinos who go abroad, they say, let's use Singapore as an example. They come here with a higher salary. But you see, with that in spite of that higher salary and higher exposure to many things, look at this.
Yeah.
No, this is the financial center of Singapore. No,
Yeah.
um, in spite of the higher salary, they bring the 9 to 6 mindset. Kahit,
Sana spam.
wag yun, wag yun.
Baka ma-bash tayo.
Mababash na naman tayo eh. Inatak mo naman ako sa mga comment section mo. But, yeah, kasi, tingnan mo, yung income tumataas.
Yeah.
But yung buhay nila hindi nagbabago.
Mm.
Yung isip nila hindi rin nagbabago. Kasi sa Pilipinas, you work 9 to 6. Okay, kasi may sahod doon, I feed my family or I feed myself. Pagdating dito, ganun na naman.
Yeah.
But with a higher value. So now, here's a challenge no sa kanila. Kunwari nawala yung pas mo dito sa Singapore. With that same mindset, na 9 to 6 pa din, with a bigger value, tapos napauwi ka sa Pinas, kaya bang i-sustain ng 50,000 per month mo sa Pilipinas, yung higher
lifestyle.
value na lifestyle mo? Which is, I feel that Filipinos will have to have that shift, no, na ang income nila, they should treat it as a capital.
They should.
Kasi builder nga, di ba?
Yes, exactly.
So, ngayong nasa nasa abroad ka na and you're earning more, that money, dapat may nakaset aside para sa capital. So by capital, it could be a capital for business. O pag-uwi mo sa Pinas, magtayo ka ng negosyo. No? Or capital for a new property. Tapos parentahan mo, passive income. O mag-invest ka sa mga income funds, fixed income funds. Dito sa Singapore, napakadami dito. Global exposure, no?
Yeah.
Passive income na naman.
Yeah.
So your salary should be treated as a capital to build
Correct.
wealth.
Yeah.
Hindi yung pang-build ng street cred, no? Wow, I'll post something on social media. I've got a brand new BYD, yung mga ganon, or some branded stuff.
Kasi hindi naman sila yung gumagamit.
Yes, I agree.
Yung mga pinsan
Family nila
sa-
yung But I think, you know what, I wouldn't blame Filipinos for having this kind of mindset because I think it's inculcated into our culture na tayo we're survivors, bro. We are survivors. And the moment na makita natin, boom, okay, this will feed my family even better, I'll jump in and take the bait. Which brings us also to the fact that Filipinos tend to get scammed easier.
Ooh.
No?
Yeah.
And this is because of fear, saka desperation. Yun nga yung survival mindset na sinasabi ko. And syempre, I wanna share my story about yung I lost 850,000 pesos. I will post a YouTube video about that soon.
Yeah.
But how I in essence I lost 850,000 pesos because of Ponzi scheme sa Pilipinas. It's that's my first and only investment in the Philippines. Yeah. And yung idea is bibili ka ng piglet for 5,000 pesos and 3 months later you will sell it at 8,000. So now imagine you buy so many pigs and then ayun yung profit mo. Profit mo is roughly about 20% per month. So I took it, okay, let's just explore. But definitely with money that I can lose. In the end, after 1 year, ayun pala, nag-rug pull na, wala na yung But ako, I wouldn't say na I jumped in because I'm desperate for that returns, no. I can relate to many Filipinos na scam na because yung group chat, pre, there are like messages there where pinag-ipunan ko to ng 20 years sa abroad and then I invested that, ngayon wala na.
Yeah.
Ano bang ginawa? May mga post, may mga messages sa group chat that says, Lord, ano bang ginawa ko na nangyari sa akin to? Mabait naman po ako. Sana humahanap na yung ng loko sa atin, yung mga scam. Why do you think exactly Filipinos are easy to scam?
I go back to yun nga kasi yung that's the reason why I encourage talaga to invest in knowledge and network. Because I mean, it's not gonna solve your that problem 100%, but it's gonna lower it dramatically when you have the right knowledge and the right network. Example, mag-invest ka sa ganong negosyo. If you don't know the business, wag kang pumasok kasi I mean, like you have to have some, hindi naman kailangan talaga, example, like if you want to invest in cryptocurrency. I'm not saying you have to be the best crypto person, but you have to know the basics.
Yeah.
Diba? And if you want to invest in like ETFs and index funds, then you have to also kind of like watch a couple of YouTube videos.
Yeah, you gotta know a little bit about it.
And then you have to have the right people, the right network. Pwedeng mapagtanuhan. Kasi don't pretend like you're the expert at everything.
Ah,
Diba?
man. wow, yung sinabi mo, no, don't believe to be the expert of everything, you know.
Mm.
In my opinion, you know, based sa mga nakita ko sa social media, especially sa, you know, yung pinost mo recently which
Yeah.
had a lot of views, no.
Yeah.
In my opinion, many people there commented na obviously hindi nila pinanood yung video ng buo.
Mm.
Madaming comment pa, madami pang opinion, you know, it's so opinionated without actually knowing kung ano ba yung essence nung
Right.
video, because what I gathered from your video is basic you know. Invest in something that's reputable. Ayun yung nag-gather ko, invest in something that's reputable, like in your video sabi mo S&P 500. Yes, for decades S&P 500 has been ayun yung data, and it's, of course there's no guarantee in it. That's why merong wealth management where we manage kung saan yung pera relevant, di ba?
Yep.
People left comments there na sabi, oh, you're not even considering inflation, you know.
Yeah.
You're not considering currency rate. Ano sa tingin, why do you think people have to leave such comments? Why do they gotta leave their opinions in there?
Well, I think we're scared of not being adequate.
Okay.
What I mean with that is going back nga to the education system natin. Ano yung pinaka nakakahiya na mangyari sa school? Bumagsak ka sa exam. 'Di ba? Kasi parang hindi mo alam yung sagot. So bobo ka. So you're not gonna usually pag anong sinasabi ng teacher, dapat ayusin mo yung grades mo. Kasi pag hindi, wala kang future. So we're again inculcated taught that if you don't know the answers, then you're hopeless.
Yeah, bobo ka.
Bobo ka.
Bobo ka.
Yeah, and I mean even just that word, no. Saan ba yung mas bobo? Yung tao na sagot ng sagot, kala niya tama siya, pero mali pala, versus yung tao na who says, I could be wrong, that's why I'm here to learn. I would rather be the second person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so because
exactly.
it's not, pag sinabi natin intelligence, it's not about how much knowledge you have. The question is, how much knowledge do you want?